Economy lesson.
This morning, we are in the middle of another weekend of senseless gun violence in the city, with young victims paying the price. CBS 2's Christina Fan joins us live from East New York. Christina?
Good morning, Cindy. We are standing in front of the scene of one of the latest shootings. As you can see, several damaged cars litter the ground behind us. Officers say that 3 men were injured. One was shot in the head, several others in the torso, and they were rushed to the hospital with critical injuries.
So not only does this freaking gang violence, it really has been a bunch of white people doing this. This is gang violence. White people are more notorious for serial killing, if you want to get technical. This event, we're talking at least $250,000 just in this one event, between hospital bills, destroyed vehicles, possibly other property damage, the time and labor of the individual, like the police officers and such, the cost of, because we're already shorthanded because of all the defund the police, right? And so it's just, how can we, protect ourselves when our costs are being constantly, 1, 2, 3, at least 3. There's got to be more, 4 or 5, probably crime scene investigator vehicles and stuff. So the fuel consumption, the burden on traffic, it goes down the line. Crime is expensive, and it doesn't pay. It doesn't pay. That's really what it means, is that crime doesn't pay. It costs the taxpayers money. And freaking, here's money that these selfish people are taking away from our work. Sending forth the tax dollar, putting the government money to work, but we're having to deal with freaking piss poor individuals like this. The money be going to schools, helping freaking fund some research for, diseases or whatever else. But no, it's going to this. And it's all because of the Democrats. They just don't know how to quit spending money. That's the freaking bottom line. Is Democrats they don't understand the wallet. Whereas Democrats, they actually understand the wallet. They in everything. Because Democrats are just trying to sell us. They want to get the money and get out. And so, okay, we're going to move it, we got to go to a dictatorship because we're owned. We're slaved. Enslaved by China. That's friggin' how things work. That's the way I'm seeing it, red and blue at this point in time. Is that red is trying to protect my money, our money, pardon me. The Republicans are trying to protect our money in our country, while the Democrats just spend until we freaking have to go bankrupt, and China calls in, the debts. And they buy us for dirt cheap because we are a defunct economy. It's extremely drastic, but that's the direction we're heading, and where it stops, nobody knows, but this is how bad it could get. But it is getting worse, and it'll be getting worse from here on out, not unless we do something. And I'm not talking about taking guns off the streets, because these people are probably not even allowed to have guns in the first place. So guns don't protect criminals. They simply don't. So the guns, we should all be armed, be able to protect ourselves. Maybe there'll be a few less misunderstandings. Maybe there'll be more cooperation. Maybe people will be nice. And because friggin' can't just go pulling a gun out, right? And like people that actually want to participate in society, they don't mind. We don't mind following the rules. There's no, but we should be able to have any piece of firepower that we want. The fact is that I'm not going to piss off my neighbor and get him to the point where he blows me the fuck up. And I'm sorry, maybe I'm just that trust of a guy. Anyways, take care of yourself, be kind, stay strong. This is, we're just heading in a very bad direction. I think that there's been more gun casualties. Casualties not meaning, deaths and whatnot, just people injured by guns. And these crimes like this, gang violence, than people have actually died from COVID. It's actually more dangerous to go out to walk the streets in New York City than it is, just because of physical violence, being part of some crime, instead of COVID. And that's why Biden is going to be putting these lockdowns into place, because that's the only way that he can actually get the numbers. Because freaking, we were on lockdown at the beginning of the year, and then we came out of lockdown. So he's only working with a 6-month window and stuff. And so he can just show all these positive numbers because he's cooking them books at the expense of COVID and our sanity and just freaking our future. 980,000 jobs were created. Was that what it was, or was it 98,000? I think either way, then why is every place having unemployment signs up? How many places went out of business? And how many people are just restarting their business and bringing people on? These numbers are fudged. These are just people getting back to work. Fuck, man.
Sirens rock New York City yet again overnight, from Inwood to East New York. Police rushed from crime scene to crime scene as fatigued neighbors wondered when this will finally end.
Very shocking, and it's just too much crime.
It's just so crazy because I'm living right there.
There were at least 7 shootings over the weekend, resulting in 13 victims, many of them teenagers. Early Saturday morning in Brownsville, a gunman fired into a group of people near the Ralph Avenue Rehab Public House.
Have y'all noticed that they stopped giving descriptions of people? And you know what's funny is I've got a paper that I handed out like years ago in like 2013, 2014 about friggin' how the vice president, it was 2013, how you can't just put out letters saying that 3 black men, in their, around our age group, like the college class, because we was right outside of college where these people were being robbed, cell phones being taken out of hands and stuff like that. So I handed out this flyer and called out the principal because he made it sound really racist. It's like, so I'm supposed to look out for 3 black guys. There's no real other description, so why even mention anything? But at the same time, when, they just show a picture, they don't say black men, they don't say hardly anything.
Developments, killing a 32-year-old man while injuring an innocent 18-year-old. Around 9 p.m. last night in Inwood, a 15-year-old was shot multiple times after getting into an argument.
Frightening. That's really frightening.
So they did, okay, so it seems like they were just talking about one in the title here. And so in the way that they're cutting and editing this, it almost seems like it is just one shooting, but they just went over several.
just so crazy because I'm living right there.
There were at least 7 shootings over the weekend, resulting in 13 victims, many of them teenagers. Early Saturday morning in Brownsville, a gunman fired into a group of people near the Ralph Avenue Rehab Public Housing Development, killing a 32-year-old man while injuring an innocent 18-year-old. Around 9 p.m. last night in Inwood, a 15-year-old was shot multiple times after getting into an argument.
Frightening. That's really frightening. Like, that's lower, honestly. They do need to stop the gun violence, though. They really do, for real. Because there's a lot of young kids out here that do walk by themselves, going to school
She's a cute lady, friend. She's cool.
at that. It really needs to stop.
The NYPD says it has reassigned officers to hotspot neighborhoods, confiscated more guns, and initiated gang takedowns in hopes of curbing the violent trend. For families living in the crosshairs,
Maybe stop and frisk wasn't such a bad idea. And it isn't actually racist because where's all, if these were white people shooting each other up, it'd be all over the fucking news. All over the fucking news. But all this is buried because this isn't white people. And I'm sorry, I'm not being racist here. This is the facts. If the truth hurts your feelings, then go to sleep. You're not woke. And we live in an upside down universe, and so when y'all say you're woke, freaking, you're actually sleeping. You don't even understand how far under the spell you are. Really don't. 9/11 was an inside job, and freaking, I need to make a video on that because freaking families are telling Biden not to freaking show up or do anything. They're pissed.